Okay. All right. Episode 3. Welcome back to Back on Track.
Welcome back.
How you doing, Jamie?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Hamish. How are you today? How's your week been?
Very good. I've been all over. I say that I've been I've been up north, but I was in Halifax.
My neck of the woods.
Yeah, I was in Halifax for the weekend, seeing the lovely band Jungle, who are my favourites, as you know. Really, really great show. They are amazing. I remember like hearing them last year, because I've seen them a few times, but when I saw them last year, because they're so tight and everything is like sounds like the record, you know, and so to a point where you'll be listening to it, like at least I was. And I remember for the last show, the first 10 minutes I was like, this has got to be pre-recorded. I was like, this is way too tight. But no, I mean, you hear like in the studio sessions, they're just brilliant musicians, and there is certain things that are pre-recorded because it's a very produced sound, but yeah, it was brilliant. Yep, me and my girlfriend went, and we went and met my dad in Halifax because he'd never seen them, and I've been dying for him to go and see them because he's the one who first introduced me to them. So yeah, it was really good.
Good. Sounds fun.
Yeah, they were. I mean, the Peace Hall in Halifax.
It's not really actually. Halifax is a bit too east for me.
Right. It's like a big area where they used to trade goods. It's an outside area. It's not actually a hall. Excuse me.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it's it's like the big monument of Halifax.
Is there a bank? Is there a bank there?
I mean, yes, we're Halifax. They run that shit.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had. I was seeing that because we were thinking. I was like, I think Sabrina was saying, there are there other banks here, and I was like, surely not. Like, but there are.
They can't. That's treachery. You can't have a NatWest in Halifax.
Yeah, well, this
is like going to Lloyd's and there's a bloody Nationwide or something. Lloyd's isn't even. Is that
Santander? Isn't that a place in Spain?
Yes, it is actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So I reckon. I mean, I like to think of it as like Halifax. They're like gangsters, and they're like, get off our turf now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Someone tries to
run
open
this.
NatWest. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, and then we also went to Hepton Bridge, which is nearby.
Hepton Bridge, yeah, really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Really, really good. And I bought this wonderful jacket by this lady runs a shop, and she hand makes jackets there and other clothes. And I bought a jacket out of an old bed quilt. We can insert a little picture here. I love it. I think it was. I couldn't believe it. It was 40 quid, which for a handmade jacket of, quite artistic look would probably be over 100 quid in London. But yeah, the woman was really lovely.
40 quid, good, nice.
Yeah, got it down to 20. No, I didn't. No. I paid. I paid. I paid. What was due. But yeah, so I got that, and I also picked up right next to it. Following on to our alternative genres, I bought the Soul of Spain record. See that there?
Ooh, very nice. Soul of Spain. You've got some. What are those, matadors or toreadors? I don't know.
Yeah. And it says here on the back, for one understanding of the true soul of Spain, the music arranger can probably offer a deeper descriptive meaning in his scores than most prolific writers in an honest effort with written words. For Spain is, and has been for centuries, a tapestry of emotional colours and contrasts that defines any statistic description beyond its history and geography. To anyone who has cursed the heat and dust of day of the geography, of the Matissa, or has felt the delicate enchantment of night in Andalusia. I'm saying that wrong. Spain is not a place. Andalusia. Yeah.
Or something, yeah.
Spain is not a place. It's a feeling. It is an emotional canvas of Europe and Africa, married in scars to the histories of the Mediterranean from Orient. So, from the glory of an era past to living in a land long, I can't say that word. In the description, they've used a very prolific word to describe the idea of their land being taken. But I'm not going to say it on YouTube. It begins with it begins with an R, which I remember reading. I read and I went, I'm sure there was other with an R and ends with a D. Anyway, I'll tell you later.
I actually don't. I have no idea what you're on. Can you hold up to the camera?
I'll show you later.
No.
Its ability to feed its people to the quiet resignation of being born. This is the soul of Spain. And it's just a lot of classic Spanish music, which I'm excited to listen to properly. I heard a little bit in the record shop. But yeah, maybe some good little samples in there as well. Yeah,
I do love Spanish music, especially flamenco, that type of stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely something we can look into later in the series. But anyways, we've got a really great episode for you guys again today. Oh, sorry, Jamie. How's your week been?
My week's been pretty standard.
Yeah,
working as always. I've had we've got a lot of trainees coming through at the moment, so it's my job to, for some reason, they think that they can trust me looking after trainees and teaching them how to work trains. So I've been doing a bit of that, and it's been nice. Met some nice new faces and showing them the ropes, showing them what not to do, and yeah.
Do you know every time we got on a Northern Rail train, I was peeking my head over to see if you were running it.
Is it me?
Yeah, I was
they all look like me. They all look the same.
I was going to Sabrina and my dad. I was going, oh, it's not Jane. It's not.
I don't go near that way.
No, yeah. I also had a show actually on Tuesday night in the Star in Shoreditch for Breaking Down, which was really good fun as well. First time gigging in London for a while. Obviously gigging more in Leeds, well, for the past 3 years because I studied there. But yeah, it was really good fun. I think it was a fun little like punky venue. You know those ones. I mean, I don't know. You haven't really been to many punk gigs yourself.
Not really. No, I haven't personally. No.
Yeah, it was just low ceilings, which is always good fun. But
so when you're moshing and you bash your head,
yeah. But I mean, this one because it was.
I suppose a low ceiling for you wouldn't make any difference even if you were jumping on a trampoline, mate.
Yeah, sure. I was doing backflips. What's funny was my bass player, who's actually quite tall. Because at one point the ceiling even drops even lower, and he was like, "I don't think I'm going to be able to stand here." But yeah, it was quite funny because we were one of the first on, but then later on in the night there was an art because it was a mixture of artists because it was more of a showcase, and they did more ballads. So it was quite funny because there was a lot of audience obviously for him, and I start off doing my sort of more rocky, heavy rock stuff. The crowd were great and they were really, really responsive, but it was just funny because I think they were all there for cocktails and what like later on they bought a bottle of wine to sit down and stuff. So it was just it was an interesting interesting dynamic. But yeah, anything else that you've ended your week with?
No.
Not
really. No.
That's mostly been me, but yeah. I actually checked out. Have you seen the whole new they developed Natural History Museum, which fans of Jamie and I will know why that's significant to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we tell the viewers, those who don't know?
yeah, if you're new to Jamie and I, we actually had a song,
A
hit song a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Sure, it's a hit. I mean, it's a hit with the friends and family and most people who've heard it at parties and stuff. But yeah, we had a song called Plastic Dinosaur, which we still play because it's good fun when
Go and listen to it on Spotify.
Yeah, go check it out.
Wherever you get your music.
Yeah, it's just our names. And yeah, we did a little shoot where we dressed up as SoundCloud rappers and held dinosaur excavation kits like they were money, like stacks of cash.
Yeah.
Outside the Natural History Museum. And do you remember that night? Because also there was a silent disco going on inside.
Yeah, I do remember when people came up to us and said, how do we get to the silent disco?
Yeah, yeah.
And we were wearing Gucci hats and like shit like
yeah.
that. Like, looked a bit stupid.
I had like the clout
funny.
goggles. Yeah. Yeah. I look back on that photo shoot recently, actually. Oh, excuse me, by the way, guys, if my cheeks have... I'm trying to get used to it, where I'm like trying to go close to the mic and then my beard just starts scraggling on the side. But yeah, I was looking back at the photos the other day, and it's just funny because like the one where we had the Stone Island. We'll put another photo up of that where you whack Stone Island on it, which I thought was good. But yeah, no, I checked out yesterday actually because I was doing a big skate around London, which I've done a handful of times. It's always fun, just like with no direct destination, just skating around the streets of London.
Just wherever the wind takes you.
Yeah. And it's good because you actually end up finding areas that you'd never knew existed in London or in central London. And I was actually in Westminster, I think, because they've got the Channel 4 offices there. I don't know if you've ever seen the Channel 4 offices.
I don't think so.
They're very interesting actually because they look a little bit like, I think it's the Barclays building by Paddington. If it's Barclays, one of the bank buildings by Paddington, where it's all this open end. It might be Lloyd's. Open end architecture where like the elevator is like on the outside, and it almost industrial, which some people like it, some people hate it. I know my girlfriend, architecture student, hates it, but this one was also got a very similar thing with like it might be the same architect where the lift is coming out of the building. But what they also had, which I thought was really fun, is, do you remember how all the Channel 4 animations would have like just the shapes?
Oh, yeah, I know what you were talking about.
And they would all move together and it would come out as a Channel 4.
Channel 4 logo.
They have that outside the building.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it was so fun because it's like watching because like I was riding up to it from an angle, and so you just see them all
line up into place.
Gradually line
that's
up.
Clever. Yeah.
Which I thought was good fun. But
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I checked out the new Natural History Museum because they've just opened up a whole new I don't know if you don't find
they released any more dinosaurs.
They have a Diplodocus outside, a gold Diplodocus outside the in their new open garden area, which is pretty nice. And it's basically like meant to show you like all the evolutions of animals in like the different periods, and you basically like walk and it gradually shows you different information about each period of of the world's evolution.
Yeah, like the Cretaceous period and the Jurassic. Stuff, yeah.
So it's quite it's quite nice. Yeah. And I think they're still developing. I think they want to put like a cafe in there or something. But yeah, don't know if you guys.
They're gonna have dinosaur themed cakes and coffee and.
I hope so. Well,
that would be good.
I mean, surely because they have cafes in the Natural History Museum. I don't know when the last time you went there was, but
I went recently. I bought a English breakfast T-Rex.
Did you just come up with that now?
Yeah, I did, and I'm actually really proud of that. I can't believe that actually. Yeah, anyway,
I'm not going to hear the end of that now. But that was well done, Jamie.
You can write that one down, folks. That is a keeper.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I mean that's basically been me. That's been my my week. But anyways, guys, enough about us. Well, more about us, I guess. We have a very good episode for you guys. We've got a new segment I actually wanted to include, all about biscuits, which we'll soon be swooping into. And then we're going to have the genre of the week. And the genre of this week was palm wine music. After that,
Very
we've got
interesting.
Yeah, Jamie's train facts. We've got some weird news coming up. What grinds our gears as well. And yeah, I mean, let's just jump into it. I came up with this little segment yesterday because I was what was it? I was watching a documentary on biscuits. And
Was it one of those with what's his face, Greg Wallace, when he goes inside a biscuit factory?
Don't think
No,
so.
was it? No, okay.
No, it was a Channel 4 documentary, which I think was on YouTube. I mean, my girlfriend was watching it, and then I started watching it as well. But it was really dramatic for what was like the war, the battle of the biscuits.
Yeah.
Because like Club were running it, and then Kit Kat came along, and they said, once they evolved into a two snap biscuit.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or when it's a
That's
chocolate.
when the game really changed.
Yeah. And you hear them all going,
Big biscuit taking over.
yeah, and they said, it's not even a biscuit, is it? It's a chocolate. But because they made it into a bite-sized form, everyone thought it was a biscuit.
Well, it's like the old Jaffa Cake situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, so we were looking at that and how McCoy's, their dominance of the market. It's actually a pretty good documentary. It's just funny because, like, in documentaries when they set it up like a true crime. Well, like like in true crime documentaries where like they sit down and it's like them looking silently at the camera for a second and then they start talking with this sort of ominous music.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's too specific, but
I know what you mean. Yeah. It
Yeah.
sounds very dramatic.
Yeah. That's what they do that in all of these shots, and it's all of them like, talking about it. But yeah, I mean, it was a good little watch actually, because it's just funny. I mean, see how dramatic these things. I mean, thank God it was a British network, because if it was American, I'm sure it'd be even more dramatic.
Yeah. You can imagine the voiceover at the beginning would be something along the lines of like, Hobnob are now taking over biscuit world.
Yeah. And they have all those
digestives.
They have all those staccato violins go.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I worked for McCoy's for about 20 years now, and when I came in, they said we want to revolutionize the biscuit.
Yeah. Today we're gonna make history.
Yeah.
Chocolate digestives. The biscuit that changed the world.
Yeah. It's just all these marketeers talking about how pissed off they were at each other because they are like, each of them were trying to take over the market. I mean, they had I remember watching years ago, there was a Pepsi. Have you watched Where's My Jet Pepsi?
Pepsi Where's My Jet.
Pepsi Where's My Jet. That, really? Yeah. That's pretty good fun as well. And
what do you think on that? Do you think...
Oh, they should have given the jet. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the judge was wrong. I think definitely.
Yeah, I know.
The advert said you need, you get this many points, you win the jet. You got the amount of points.
Yeah,
Where's
exactly.
my jet?
The only problem with that documentary is like every person that comes on just goes, so I get this email that says the kid wants the jet. What the hell? And that's every single person is just going, I was talking to him. He said, I want that jet. And he's like, yeah. Okay.
We get it. He wants
the jet.
Americans have a way of making the most like simple things extremely dramatic. Like, it's just way too dramatic than it needs to be.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on. So I wanted to go into this little segment, which is called Biscuits, Underrated, Overrated. And we have a little song there. Which
give us a little sample? Bit of improv.
Underrated, overrated biscuits. What are they? Did I finish?
Nice,
Did I finish on the first? I don't know if I did. Anyways, I'm sorry. Sorry.
In jingles.
Yeah. So I've got a number of biscuits sold in the UK, and Jamie, I want to see if you think they're underrated or overrated.
Okay.
The only problem I have with these underrated, overrated, maybe we'll find, well, because some things are perfectly rated, but it doesn't fit into the jingle, underrated, overrated, or perfectly rated. It doesn't work quite as well.
It's like the Wombles. Underground, overground.
Oh my god! I should use that.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Jamie, are you a big biscuit fan, Jamie?
I do like. I am partial to a good biscuit every so often. I don't mind.
I can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you saying?
Okay. So yeah, I got a list here. You tell me, underrated.
Okay,
overrated.
go on. Yeah,
do you think you can do that, Jamie?
I think I can.
Okay.
Just about handle that. Yeah.
All right. Custard creams.
I do like a good old custard cream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say underrated.
Underrated. I think so.
I think they're really good. I think they've got a nice little creamy, moist interior. And
yeah, I know
nice
one
sort of
person is
hard
going to cringe at that.
Yeah. Very moist. And yeah, I like it. I like a good old custard cream.
Yeah.
Not too sweet, not too, perfect.
Yeah, I
Very
think
good.
they got me through Duke of Edinburgh bronze. I brought 2 packets of them because when Tesco's used to give you, 30 for 20p.
Yeah.
That was
but that's the thing. Each supermarket has their own brand, their own version of it,
right.
and it has to be the right one.
So what is the right one, Jamie?
Sainsbury's ones are quite good because I used to get those all the time. Like I used to just get a big old packet of those.
Nice.
But I don't know if it has to be Sainsbury's or Tesco's are okay.
Tesco's those are the ones that everyone used to get. But
if it's you wouldn't want to get a Morrison's, custard cream, or Lidl. I no disrespect,
All right.
And other supermarkets are available.
All right, let's try and keep it. Otherwise, people are going to switch off immediately.
Yeah, go on quickly.
All right, okay.
Next one.
Ginger nut.
Oh, I love a ginger nut. I think they're underrated. Perfect. I love the ginger flavor. You don't get ginger much in biscuits. So underrated.
I'm going to go underrated because when I do have them, it's not bad. I think if they made a softer ginger nut, I would prefer.
Yeah, they're very hard, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, hobnob.
It really depends because you get the different types of hobnobs, don't you? You get the caramel ones and the other ones.
I think chocolate hobnob. At one point, I got very addicted to chocolate hobnobs.
I got very addicted to them as well. They're nice and crumbly. I like the crumbliness of them.
I think underrated.
Yeah.
This actually links into the documentary I was watching because the woman did a talk who was responsible for the hobnob because they found they couldn't copyright the names of a lot of their biscuits, like the digestive, because that is not a copyrightable term of name.
Yeah.
So they had to come up with a new product that they could have distinctively as the, McCoy. Is it McCoy's?
Yeah. Yeah, McCoy's, isn't it? Yeah, hobnob. Yeah.
Is it McVitie's?
Oh, that's it. McVitie's.
Sorry. Yeah,
sound the same.
as the McVitie's.
Yeah,
staple, and so that's why then they made the hobnob because they were like, and the reason why it's called a hobnob was hob, because it sounds, like it looks like it's been cooked on the hob. It's homemade because it's crumbly.
And what's the knob about, Hamish? What's that bit for?
Because it's knobbly. But apparently,
right.
Yeah, because when they made it and they said we're going to call it a hobnob, loads of people at the company were like, "This is the worst idea we've ever done." But yeah, I mean, it's stuck with people. But okay, so we're going to say underrated Oreos.
Overrated. I'm sorry, but they are overrated.
I will have to agree with you, but I've got a tangent here. If we haven't tangent enough, I think overrated on the regulars. Double stuff, underrated. Have you ever had a double?
Yeah, the thicker ones.
Yeah,
with the more. Yeah,
because
they're all right. They're all right. Not my favorite. Too sweet for me.
People listening out there, have them with coffee or tea, dip them in, and then it makes the icing go soft as well, and it's lovely. Just try it. I mean, I go through a whole packet just like with coffee instantly, because it just makes the whole biscuit soft, and it's very, very nice. Anyways, digestives.
Overrated.
I think
overrated.
I think they are so overrated. I don't understand the hype on them. It's
just a plain biscuit.
It's such like
the only exception to the rule is the caramel ones.
Well, there you go. Then you're adding stuff.
Yeah, but the chocolate ones or the plain ones, I mean,
there's literally nothing going on. There's nothing going on. I don't mind the white chocolate ones, and I don't mind. Do you remember they had the Bakewell cherry Bakewell ones years ago?
Oh yeah,
those were good. But digestives, completely overrated in my opinion. Shortbread.
Oh, I do like a shortbread.
I think they're underrated. I think they're
going to go underrated. Definitely,
they're Scottish heritage, and they are very under. They're also actually a lot lower in sugar than some other biscuits, so that's always good. Milk chocolate rounds.
Yeah, say again now. What the hell is that?
No. Well, I couldn't actually find the name of this. I think people just people actually don't have. Never know what the name is for these. Do you know like Fox's biscuits, and they sell them in M&S? They're like chocolate circular. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, and they're chocolate.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Have you ever had one of these?
Yeah, but you don't get them very often. You know when you get like a big tin, which has lots of different, and eventually it's used for a sewing kit or something like that. Yeah. But at the start of its life, it had biscuits.
It had biscuits once.
At some point, those are the ones that I'd go for. Those the chocolate rounds.
I think they're
nice.
I mean, it's almost in a perfectly rated, where the people who love them. M&S do some of the best, but the problem with M&S is they charge a fortune for them. They're about £3 for a box, which it's quite a lot. Yeah. But I mean, I love them. If they're ever in the house, I'll eat them very, very quickly. But Biscoff biscuits.
Overrated.
So same for me, yeah. I think them and Oreos, I think it's one of those where they get flavoured for everything. Yeah. Oreo at this, Biscoff that.
Oreo ice cream, Oreo milkshake, Biscoff, all of that.
And so I think
too sweet for me.
I don't think it's about being too sweet. I think they're just like, it's fine. It doesn't do anything crazy though that everybody seems to think it does. Yeah. Well,
yeah, I know what you mean.
I actually going back to Oreo, did you know Oreo is a knockoff of another brand?
Is it actually? I thought Oreo was the original.
No. Oreo was a knockoff of a brand from, I believe, the 80s. And I don't remember the name of it right now, but it was a copycat, but Oreo, I don't know what it was, if it was the marketing or what the branding.
Yeah, they somehow became the dominant.
Yeah, and then the other brand ended up eventually discontinuing, which I would be mega. I'm sure they are, but I would be mega.
Try and sue Oreo for that.
I'm sure they probably have. Couple more Jammy Dodgers.
Oh,
Overrated for me.
Overrated, personally, because they're just dry. I think they're a bit dry.
I think they're getting worse.
I like that there's like one tiny little splodge of jam.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it's just a bit dry. Not my favorite.
Yeah. Party rings. I
hate party. I actually hate party ring. They're disgusting. No. Horrible.
I think maybe it fueled from nostalgia, but I would say underrated. You going overrated?
No, they're just shit. They are way too sweet. They are so hard. Your teeth are gonna break, and every time you have them, they're always stale for some reason. And no, I don't like them. They're too. They're just all wrong.
I think a lot of the biscuits that I think are underrated are just the ones that I haven't sort of ruined my taste buds by eating so much.
Yeah.
They're these lemon.
Do you know what the absolute worst one is? No offense to whoever makes this, but iced gems. Oh God.
Well, those aren't even those aren't even biscuits. Those are just
they're sort of biscuity base with like a weird icing on top.
Yeah. I mean, I think as a kid I'd still eat them because it's just sugar in it. But yeah,
no chance.
Yeah. Well, that was underrated, overrated biscuits. Jamie, should we do? Oh, no, we can't do it in harmony now, can we? But I'll try the little jingle again. Underrated, overrated, what will it be? There we go.
Very good. Very good.
Alternative genre of the week.
Genre of the week this week was palm wine music. Now, Jamie.
Palm wine.
Yeah, palm wine. Have you heard of this genre, Jamie?
I hadn't heard of this genre, like the word palm wine when you mentioned it, but when I went and listened to some palm wine music, I have actually heard music that falls under that category or similar music, which I was quite pleased about because it's like a small sort of subgenre of that of that sort of Western Saharan music. So yeah, tell us a bit more about palm wine music.
This was my choice for the week today. Palm wine is a genre that originated in West Africa, particularly in Sierra Leone, Ghana, and Nigeria during the early 20th century. The name comes from the traditional alcoholic beverage palm wine, which was commonly enjoyed at social gatherings where this music was played. So that's a nice, it's an interesting way to describe or name a genre. After what you've been drinking.
Yeah, usually a genre is named after like the place or the instruments or like the people
or the sound.
Yeah, exactly. But this is named after what they were drinking, which I like.
What's associated? Nice. Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I mean, sort of similar is stuff like dance music. It's like because you're dancing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, a little bit more context, So in terms of like instrumentation from palm wine music, it's acoustic guitars, which were introduced to West Africa by Portuguese sailors. Other instruments often include hand drums, harmonicas, and the traditional African drum, piano, mbira. The style blends African rhythms with Western guitar techniques, creating a laid-back melodic style. It's characterized by its light rhythmic strumming patterns and a call and response vocals. Lyrics often touch on everyday life, love, and social issues delivered in a storytelling manner. Palm wine music has influenced various other West African music genres, including high life, juju, and Afrobeat. Over time, it's become an important part of West African musical heritage, contributing to the development of modern African popular music. So, I mean, how did you find this? I
really enjoyed it, actually. In fact, all this morning I've been listening to it.
Oh, nice.
Because when I listened to it, I thought this is like, it's very chilled out music, quite relaxing, quite it's just like quite vibey. I hate that word, but it's vibey, and it's just so I like having it on in the background, and like it's just nice. It's fun. There's no sort of like a lot of music has like a lot of politics involved, or can be about heartbreak and things like that. It can be sad, emotional. Whereas this isn't. There's no sort of like negativity. It's just about having a bit of
Yeah, I mean, it's all been written
music
for the idea of being in social gatherings. you know,
Yeah, absolutely.
which,
Yeah, and what
drinking
go
wine.
on. Drinking wine,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. When I listen to it, it reminds me of being like, like on a hot summer's day when you're all out in a garden and you've just got that in the background. It's like the perfect setting for it. And a lot of the recordings that I came across were like live recordings from music festivals and things like that, which is what I really like.
Well,
that it's live.
That's what I found. In terms of what recordings, and a lot of them had been recorded like traditional palm wine music. A lot of it is obviously recorded from the 50s, 60s, and onward. And I always found I love those old recording. It's the same in like old blues and country, where it's just been recorded by a guy in a room. You can hear the room, when they're recording, and it's all done in one take. And in these old recordings, it's got a heart to it where you feel like this is a real thing. Yeah. And I just always enjoy listening to those, because the idea that like it's all done in one take. It's from a person who, has just played this music for, it's not for a commercial thing.
It's not overproduced. It's not It's just fun.
So no, I really enjoyed it. I mean, do you have any standout songs in your notes over there?
Well, so in my notes, the main sort of band or group that I came across was Quan Pa. You might have heard of them.
I haven't heard of those guys. No.
Right. So they're quite big. They do a lot of live stuff. They've got a Spotify as well. And I listen to a lot of their songs actually, and I quite like it because they've got a mixture of like sort of more chilled out, slower stuff and some sort of faster stuff. So some of the ones that I liked was Mr. Traveller.
Okay.
And they've got one called Culinary Battle, which I quite liked. And I'm going to say this, but I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Adouane.
This is all our podcast.
This is what it's going to be every week.
You need to do
Adouane Niyinya. I'm absolutely butchering that, and I don't even know what language it is. I think they're Ghanaian. This group. But I really like the music. They've got stuff in English and in their language as well. And I really liked it. I thought it was quite. It's just I'll put it on in the background, and like I can just like do my housework to it. Do you know what I mean? That's like
nice.
I know it's perfect background music for me.
Yeah. I mean, I did it. I was skating to it yesterday, and it's always it's nice. It sort of put me in a zone. I mean,
really nice.
The sort of standout songs for me was a song, and again, apologies for my pronunciation. This is honestly though, this is what the genre. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, they pronounce everything wrong from different nations. I think we need to next one just needs to be like fully English. So you can a fully English genre. Saudade by Cecilia Evora. Have you heard that one? Is that on yours as well?
Yeah. I've heard.
Another song. Obiria Metobi by MK Opong. MK Opong, they had a few other tunes which are worth checking out, and also the Apia Akinjum's band, Owu Ataware. And another one is Ibikunle Akija, with this by Ayunde Bakar. I mean the once again, guys, we're gonna have a little link to a playlist where any of the songs that we mentioned or some other stuff as well from this genre will be out for you guys to have a listen to. I mean, I think the it's fun. It's just like it's a fun live sound.
Yeah, it's quite light-hearted. I'd love to go and see this sort of music live. In fact, I'd love to perform it live as well if I got the chance to.
Yeah. Well, like as we do, we're going to try and keep doing every week. There will be a song at the end, which we're going to start Jamie and I are going to start trying working on these songs together because
yeah, we're gonna try and do some
yeah.
cool
Yeah.
stuff.
So stay tuned for that. But yeah, no, I mean, you're going to be. From the sound of it, you're going to be listening to it more.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I've already got some errands to run the rest of the day, and I know exactly what I'm going to be using in the background as my playlist. Definitely, yeah, really enjoyed it actually. Something that I really like about it as well. It's obviously got the sort of traditional African and the sort of European, Hispanic, Portuguese influence, and you've got like the calypso elements there as well, which you find in like Caribbean music. But the drumming, I really liked. It's such a simple concept, such a simple beat, nothing fancy, just a conga drum or bongos, and it's just like it's music that you feel. You don't read it, you don't learn it, you don't sort of play it off the sheet like we would if you're trained in classical music you would do. It's just you feel it, and that's what I love about it. It almost feels like you're jamming live, and it's just all slots into place really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the drumming I really liked, sort of syncopated
There was
rhythms and stuff like that.
Mentioning of the other influences, that when I was listening to some playlists and there were some other modern tracks, a lot of them often sounded actually a bit South American.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that. Yeah, you can definitely feel like a Hispanic influence there, especially with the guitar. That's because obviously it uses guitar. The strumming style is that sort of what you'd hear in things like the Gypsy Kings, which is obviously like Spanish and that, and calypso obviously music has that sort of because it comes from the French Creole, Caribbean influence. So yeah, it has its roots all over the world in both Eastern, Western, Saharan, all over, which I like. And the vocals is what I think is the icing on the cake there. Even if you can't understand the language, you can tell that these are people that are singing from their heart, really. Do you know what I mean? It's the harmonies are great. You've obviously mentioned you've got the call and response. You use proper gospel harmony, proper sort of what you would find African harmony, which is sort of characterized by like inversions, and the technical term is homophonic parallelism, which is where you sort of, I don't know, it's difficult to describe, but I'm doing it. I'm playing it like
I'm playing it.
Yeah, you take the diatonic melody, and then you sort of realize the chords inverted, and you sort of it's difficult to describe. Homophonic parallelism, gospel harmony. You don't. It's difficult to describe. You just sing it, you feel it. But if you listen to that sort of music, you get it a lot in African music. Slave songs as well have it a lot. And I really like that type of harmony. So yeah, I thought the vocals were really quite nice. Yeah, I really enjoyed that genre.
Nice. Well, yeah, guys, go and check it out. And look in the link in the bio after this episode, and have a little listen to some palm wine music. Moving on, Jamie, what have we got in the world of trains?
What have we got in the world of trains? We've got a lot going on in the world of trains, but today I wanted to talk to you about a train station.
Okay.
And would you like to know what train station this is?
I mean, yeah, that's a start. Yeah, I would like to.
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to talk to you about a train station that actually doesn't exist.
Is it?
Dun, dun, dun. I need that sound effect thing out again. Yeah, it's well, it used to exist. It's called Aldwych Station in London, and you may have heard of it. You may know Aldwych, the place. Aldwych Station, which was actually closed down in the late half of the 20th century, and it no longer exists as a train station. The station is there, but you can't get a train to it or from it. But the station is still there. So you might be thinking, what's the point?
Yeah, that was my next question. Why
wouldn't they just?
Why has this happened? Why have they got rid of the station?
So they got rid of the station because it just didn't have enough passenger numbers. They built it and realized that no one was really using it, and then they moved it to like weekday only service, and then they sort of had it less and less and less, and then they realized that eventually it was just costing them too much money, so they got rid of it, but it still exists. But the interesting thing here is that even though it doesn't exist as a train station in on the railway, on the tube, it's obviously it's a tube station, it does exist through the wonderful world of television and film and media, because it's used now as a set.
Oh, right.
So whenever you watch films or TV shows, and they're set in a tube station, chances are it's going to be Aldwych Station. A lot of things have been filmed there, including Sherlock, and Skyfall, obviously the new James Bond. I say new James Bond film. It's been out for years.
That's the one where he jumps onto the back of the train?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's been in Aldwych, and Luther, and lots more films, TV shows, things like that are all filmed here in Aldwych. And they've got all the old platforms, the old roundels, the signs, some of the old train stock as well there. So they use that for filming, and they also use it for training and stuff like that.
It's a little stock station that's still being used for when they need to work on other stuff. That's very interesting. Yeah,
exactly. There you go.
Is that the one that you can go on a tour of?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, Hidden London, I think it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a ghost station, isn't it? It's they do like all that sort of underground. What's that TV show with Sid? What's her face? Secrets of the London Underground.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a ghost station, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike a ghost train, which is something slightly different. We actually do have ghost trains.
What ghost trains? What
a
ghost trains of the north?
A ghost train. Well, there's different types of ghost trains. So we've got parliamentary trains, which I can talk to you about parliamentary trains in a minute. But what I would call a ghost train is a train which has its TCA either isolated or failed, which is the track circuit actuator, which essentially means that the signaller can't see where the train is. So it's, without getting a bit too technical, the track circuit actuator provides the train with a bit of extra voltage, so on diesel stock, so that when it connects to the rails, the circuit is shorted and the signaller can see where the train is. If that's not working, then the signaller has no idea. He doesn't show up on the panels, so you're a ghost train.
Right. Have you ever been on a ghost train?
No, I've not, because there's a whole situation of what to do if that happens, because it can be extremely dangerous.
But have you? The people are wanting to know. Have you ever heard of a ghost train? A ghost train, not a technical ghost train. The one that carries the dead amongst the world.
I all the time. Believe it or not, trains are. This isn't like speculation. Trains are haunted. Especially class 331 and 195 units. Okay. And let me tell you how I know this to be a fact.
Okay.
So on these trains, we have a passenger counting system in the cab on the TCMS. There's a screen which counts how many passengers are in each vehicle, and every so often we work the train completely empty, so it's just me and the driver on board, and there's no passengers. It's an empty coaching stock train. And it will show that there is a passenger in one of the empty vehicles moving between one vehicle and the other, going back and forth. And I know for a fact that there is nobody in there, because I've checked it and it's empty. It's not open to passengers, but the screen is showing that there is a passenger in there. And when you go on the CCTV to look, because they have CCTV, these units, sometimes you do see the odd flicker of the light or the odd blur of the
orb. They always show orbs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it doesn't help that we happen to be going past a street light at that point in time. That might be what the orb was, but Who knows? Maybe they're haunted. And we always turn the lights off. Well, not always, but a lot of the time, have the train in pitch black when we're going empty coaching stock. So it can be quite spooky.
Yeah. Have you? I mean, how are they moving like back and forth, just like repeatedly? Is it quick interchanges?
No, it's not quick. It's like every 10 seconds. It will go from one carriage to the next, and then 10 seconds later it goes back into the other carriage.
It's a disturbed,
and then maybe into one of the other ones.
Yeah, it's a disturbed ghost who just can't.
Sometimes
find the right
there's
spot.
two. Sometimes it says there's two.
I mean, these are modern trains, aren't they? So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So I don't know how the trains would have adapted onto these modern forms of transport, but that's yeah. So any other? Sorry, did you have any other notes about the ghost station?
No.
I'm sure somebody will
that's
say
all
it's haunted.
That's all you need to know. I mean, have you any questions about the ghost station?
Well, what year was it exactly that it got discontinued?
That is a very good question, Hamish, and I'm here to tell you the answer to that question.
Quick Google search. Well, whilst
it
you're
was
doing
closed
that,
in.
Oh no, say.
It was closed in 1994.
Okay,
Opened in 1907.
Right. So, yeah. Wow. Well, I never told you about the ghost trip I ever did I? The ghost guide. Sorry, haunting of Leeds. Ghost guide. Yeah, they never.
No, I've done one in Edinburgh. I'm assuming it's a similar thing. Like those spooky tours.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure yours was a little bit more organised than my one, but it was a woman from Leeds who me and my mates went, and it was just a $5 for. I think it was less than that. No, I think it was a $5 foot, but it was going to Ukraine, so it was for charity. And she took us around Leeds, and told us how all of the pubs and old buildings were haunted, but never any context, never any
just they're haunted and nothing else.
Yeah, she would go. And this was an old pub. I used to go there quite a lot drinking, and that was almost every pub. She would like to have a drink there.
Yes, you sure she was a tour guide and not just a drunk?
Well, she mentioned multiple times about us all going to the pub afterwards. She was like, "You are all coming to go to the pub with us, yeah." To make sure you come.
She
make
just
sure you
wanted
come.
some mates to go to the pub with.
I mean, she was pleasant, but it was just funny because like we would go to these bars and it'd be like the oldest pub in Leeds, which I don't know if you've been to in the city centre. It's a really nice little old pub, but she was saying how there was there's been stories of seeing the landlord walking around, or
serving
some
pints because he's still alive or something like that.
or just the old dead landlord was seen here, and I'm always going, why though? Like, did he die there? Did he have unfinished business? And the only one that I think I'd seen with like an actual full context was there was a woman who fell from the main city building. The big town hall in
Leeds. Yeah.
Yeah. A woman had fallen off the roof of that and passed away. And so there was obviously the rumor of that ghost being around in Leeds. That was the only one that I had full context of. The others were just like this street, and they'd be like, "There's a ghost," and you'd be
There's
like,
a ghost,
and you go, "Oh, okay." Yeah. But it was going to charity, so I wasn't exactly felt like I was ripped off money. But and she clearly, had the idea that these things were. I just wanted more context, but yeah. Anyways, quite unusual and quite weird. But you know what's also
Spooky.
weird is
what is weird?
What's going on in the news? My weird news of this week is actually from the US. And falling off on my notes. Danny Jensen Weird news of the week. Danny Jensen made MLB history by becoming the first player to play for 2 different teams in the same game. Have you heard about this, Jamie?
2 different teams in the same game. Yes.
Yeah. This happened earlier this week.
Yeah. How did that happen then?
The unusual situation occurred when a game between the Toronto Blue Jays and Boston Red Sox on June 26th was postponed due to rain. At the time, Jansen was playing for the Blue Jays and had just started at his at-bat. However, before the game resumed on August 26th, Jensen was traded to the Red Sox. When the game continued, Jensen, now a Red Sox player, caught Boston for a later batter for them as well, making him the first player to bat for both teams in the same game. Although the Red Sox lost 7-3, Jensen expressed his excitement about making history, calling it a cool and strange experience.
So they postponed the game for 2 months.
Yeah, well, I mean, this happens in all sports because you've already got the whole schedule.
A long time.
No, but you've got the whole schedule already, and you've got to find a free weekend to fit that in. You know, so it probably is a 2-month break. I mean, they do the same for football. You know, they postpone it until.
I mean, I thought snooker went on for ages.
What I'm surprised about is that, I mean, I don't know if they restarted the game, but I mean, from the sounds of it, they didn't. Which I don't know why you wouldn't just
pick
restart.
up where they left off.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why they would have done that. You just start again. But anyways, he plans to send one of the jerseys he's wore during the game to the Baseball Hall of Fame. So
there we go. That's nice.
Nice little interesting fact there. Have you ever watched baseball, Jamie?
I have once, not just on the TV. It's not really on TV in this country, is it? So
well, it's always on at unusual times for us. So
yeah, exactly. But when I've been abroad, they've shown it, and it looks all right. To be honest, I don't.
It's a bit like cricket, though.
It's a bit like cricket, yeah.
But
it looks fun. It looks fun to play.
I mean, you enjoyed rounders, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically rounders. Yeah.
Well, it's slightly different, but I'm sure that's going to get somebody
Close
going
enough.
there, going actually. Yeah. I mean, Jamie, how weird is it for you up in Manchester? What's the weirdest that's going on over there?
There's a lot of weird things going on in Manchester because it's Manchester. There's always weird things going on. But something else that's weird and going on is a petition on change.org, the official petition website, which is just in this week has just reached 19,019 signatures out of 25,000, which is how they need to get it to. Okay. Guess what the petition is for, Hamish? What do you think it is?
Or not very much, is it? So,
shall I give you a clue?
Yeah, give me a clue. I mean,
it's about a well-known person with a bit of money.
For Elon Musk to stop ruining Twitter.
It might as well be, but actually it's a bit stranger than that. This petition is to get Jeff Bezos to buy and eat the Mona Lisa.
Okay, that's really something.
I mean, there we go. That's it's just reached 19,090 signatures, which I think is quite. I've not actually signed it, but I might do because I just think that's funny.
Who started Who started it?
That's such a good question.
Such a good question.
It was actually started by a chap named Kane Powell.
Powell, okay.
Kane Powell, no idea who he is. In 2020, and
so wait, he's been trying to do it for 4 years.
yeah. So it started to. It's been steadily growing, It's reached it's only 5,000 signatures off now from just thereabouts.
Yeah, so give it 5,000 more, and Jeff Bezos will go. Listen, I know it's been 4 years.
Yeah,
but I was waiting for that fifth. Do
you reckon he'd do it?
I don't think they'd sell it to him. Also, after the petition, and then the Louvre. Is that how you say it? Yeah, they get. He goes.
Yeah.
the Louvre. Have you seen that Erling Haaland clip?
No, I've not.
Anyway, it's pronounced Louvre, I think it is in French. But anyways, they pick up wind of this, and right after Jeff Bezos says, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it,"
Yeah.
and he goes, "I would like to buy the Mona Lisa," and they say, "No, we are not selling it. You're going to eat it." He said, "I'm not gonna eat this. I promise you. I'm not gonna." You are. You said it. Look at the signatures. Everyone wants you to eat it. We can't have you eating this. It's not food, monsieur. It's not food. Don't tell me what to do with my product. I'm gonna eat the bastard thing. Yeah. I mean, how much do you reckon it? I don't think it has a price. I think it is a priceless.
It's priceless, isn't it? I think it would probably go for many, many, many millions. Tens of millions.
Oh no, over that. I think $1 billion.
$1 billion? No.
It's the Mona Lisa. I mean, it doesn't blow people away, but it's a
picture of a woman.
I know, but it's the context behind it. Do you know what I mean? It's the fact that it sort of revolutionized.
Why is it so? Yeah, I suppose it. Yeah, fair enough.
That's a very good question.
The latest valuation in July 2024. Guess how much? You said $1 billion.
I'm sticking with $1 billion.
Yeah, 860 million.
Ooh, so he could actually
That's a lot.
Yeah, but he could whack $1 billion on and just be like, there you go. Keep the change.
Yeah, exactly. The Louvre would take that. Give him $1 billion. That's pocket change.
But how much? I mean, think about how many people are actually going to the Louvre to. I'm saying it wrong, but to go and just see the Mona Lisa. I mean, there's a massive queue for it, and I think it's a sort of sheep mentality. It's like, I've got to go see it because everybody
got to go and see it.
Yeah.
I've got Google Images, mate. I know what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's got a massive wall, but yeah, I mean, I'd tune in to watch that.
Didn't someone try and throw orange paint on it or something like that?
Yeah. People threw out the
So how hard can it be to nick and eat? I'm gonna give it a go.
Nicking the Mona Lisa, I think.
Wonder what it tastes like.
Oily. Probably very bitter.
Yeah.
With the paint.
Yeah.
I mean, well, there's always rumors that that's actually not the Mona Lisa. The one behind
they say that. Yeah.
They're like the real one is far, far away. But yeah. Well, I mean that's another thing about do you know the World Cup that teams get isn't the real World Cup?
Oh, what, the trophy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the real one is actually in Switzerland, but I kind of feel like, well, what's the point then? You might as well give the real one to them for 4 years and then give them a replica after.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. Yeah, what's that all about?
But yeah, I mean, do you reckon he'd eat the frame as well?
The frame is part of the work, so yeah, you would have to. Yeah. I mean, the founder of this movement, Kane Powell, said, "Nobody has eaten the Mona Lisa, and we feel Jeff Bezos needs to make a stand and make this happen." And fair enough. Fair enough. Nobody has eaten it yet.
Maybe Da Vinci when he was
had a little lick when he was making
when he was painting it, and
a little nibble.
She's there sat, nice and posture, and he
she looks tasty.
having a little lick of it. Maybe that's how he's such a genius. He was eating the paint.
Yeah. Maybe,
yeah.
That's his secret.
Yeah. Well, let's see what it's like in another 4 years, and if he's made any progress, and if Jeff Bezos with 25,000 signatures will go. Do you know what?
There you go. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, guys. We'll report back in 4 years and see how that's transpired. But that's the weird news, Jamie. Coming up to the final part of our episode today. It's been a bit of a long one, a few tangents, and Jamie, you got a dad joke for us to?
Well, earlier this week, I'd mentioned earlier, got a few jobs that need doing. So I gave a list of jobs to my handyman, and I said, here's a list of items I need you to do. And he said, yeah, that's fine. And I came back later, and it turns out he only did item number 1, 3, 5, and 7. I said, what are you on about? He said, I only do odd jobs.
I knew where that was going. Well done. And Jamie, what's been grinding your gears this week?
Oh, mate, it's that time of year, and it's really, really annoyed me, especially in the night time, in the evening. Flying insects, don't get me started, especially those big old daddy long legs type things. I don't know what they're called. Flying horror.
What are you talking about? Mosquitoes?
No, the big ones with the legs. They look like flying daddy long. You know what I mean. What are they called?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is like dragonflies and mosquitoes.
No, they are called. I don't know what they're called. You know what I mean? Daddy long legs.
Right. Yeah. Flying daddy long legs. I mean, I don't know what they have up in Manchester, but it sounds horrific.
Yeah, we've got them all. We've got all sorts of mutants. They're horrible. They're horrible.
Do you ever have it at like when the sun's about to set and you're cycling home or skating home, and maybe cycling for you, but you get the little flies in the air. In Scotland they're midges, but I don't know what they are here. But and they just get they get in your mouth and your eyes. And
horrible. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know the type. Yeah.
But
yeah, flying insects. Crane fly is the
crane flies
term.
Yeah,
crane fly.
Okay.
But they look like daddy long legs, but they're even worse because they can fucking fly. And I don't mind them, to be honest. I'm not afraid of spiders and stuff, but they just get in the way and they fly in your face and they get everywhere and they keep you up and they can't fly in a bloody straight line. They're going all over the place and getting in your hair and and don't get me started on moths. Oh my god, they're just.
We've had a real fly. We've just had fly infestations coming around the house.
Yeah,
they keep coming in through the back garden because we've got to have the door open. And
exactly. You want the windows and the doors open when the weather's hot, and then they just keep coming in, and then
I don't know how flies have got this far because they are some of the most clueless animals in the world.
Yeah, I know.
They don't like as soon as they come into a house, they're just like, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, exactly. And you open every single bloody window and like, here you go, off you go, and they just fucking fly around.
Sometimes if I'm working in the house for a long time, I'm getting really sick of them. I run around the house like an old lady with I got one of those electric swatters.
The little zapper. Yeah,
just like hunch around, going everywhere.
I'd take my shoe off and have a go.
Yeah.
But that's been really I just hate them. They're just annoying and they just keep flying in my way and they're just ugly. But that's what's grinding my gears. Hamish, what's grinding your gears this week?
Grinding my gears is people doing supersets in public gyms during peak hours. Have you ever heard what a superset is?
As you can probably tell, I'm a regular gym goer. I'm very familiar with it. I actually do supersets myself.
Do you? You're the problem.
Can you not tell?
Well, so people get like sometimes 2 or 3 pieces of equipment in the gym and designate them. And what they'll do is they'll do one set on one and then go straight to the other and do the other, a set on the other, right? Which on paper is a fine practice, but not whilst everybody, the gyms are already overcrowded. Gyms are already crowded, and I try and go in the mornings so I don't have to worry about too many people. But like even some people in the evenings will try and do supersets where they'll take up 2 or 3, or even another one where they'll start taking up. They'll grab 5 different sets of weights.
Yeah, and it's just etiquette, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, I understand doing supersets, but either do them really early in the morning when nobody's there, or just do them in your home gym. I just feel like you can work your exercises around not taking up 3 different pieces of equipment at once. I think that's a pretty normal etiquette, But
Yeah.
I mean that's what's been grinding my gears, and it's just very frustrating. But yeah, guys, that wraps up for episode 3 of Back on Track. This should be coming out a few days after our second episode. We're still trying to get stuff on track here.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. And we're still figuring out all the kinks and whatnot. And but yeah, no, thank you very much for listening. Jamie, do you have anything else to say to the people out there?
If you're a crane fly, fuck off.
Yeah, and if you do supersets, you can fuck off as well.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for listening. It's goodbye from me.
And I shall say farewell.
Farewell. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.